Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And we are joined here by Marie Mongrain, better known as Mary Poppins. Welcome to the show today. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing great. How about you?
Oh my God, you are adorable. Can you tell me about your getup? Because you really are the real life Mary Poppins.
Yes. Oh, I love dressing up, right? I'm a life coach and about mindset and love attraction and magic pretty much, right? But there's this part of me, I was not always a life coach. I love dressing up. And first dress that I got, first of all, like 3 years ago was one of Snow White. And when I put that gown on, it felt like I was like a princess and I was home, like felt like I was Snow White a long time in a different life. And I was like, oh my God, I'm back to being that, right? And when we watched my girls and I, the movie a few months ago, and I'm like, we want to dress up. I'm like, yes, I'm always want to dress up. And Mary Poppins, she embodies, right, the magic, like the law of attraction. When you need something, something comes in for you.
Yeah.
Every time there's always someone there when you need it. And that family needed her and she just arrived like, poof, and then she just gone when energetically they were a match. And she just brought magic into their family. And for me, I'm like, this is what, like, not just me as a life coach, but that's what I do in life. When I was a teacher, that's what I was doing. I go in that classroom and for the day, I bring the magic, I bring the fun, I bring the make-believe. And like, that's for me, that was my goal, is to bring the fun. And I thought, like, oh, I have other costume. I could have been a wizard from Harry Potter. I'm like, no, I think this is perfect. It embodies the life coach and the life, what I bring into people's life.
Well, it clearly does. It's exciting to have you here. Really, what a shock when I opened up by the way, if you're listening on the radio, we're also live on a Zoom. And so we're looking at each other and she looks adorable. My goodness, you got to post these pictures. So Mary Poppins. So is this the first time you're being her or have you embodied and channeled Mary before?
Oh, for my birthday, actually with the girls and I, we did a tea party and we went to the Ritz-Carlton to get our little picnic to get it. Like we couldn't stay at the hotel. So for the food, so we actually got like the picnic to go. I went to the park and went downtown, like in the old port in Montreal. We did the big wheel. Like me and my girls were both dressed up in the white dress with the white hat. And like, I think the pictures are on my Instagram, but like that goes back in May if you want to go and see
Okay, I will scroll through.
If I have a chance to dress up, I don't know, it brings so much fun and so much lightness in my body. And I'm like looking myself in the mirror, I'm like, oh my God, like just like, I don't know, the excitement of being me is like, it brings something. And that's the energy
awesome.
I bring in my coaching, right? And whatever I do. So when people are like, I'm like, hi, I get to meet someone, like, oh my God, and this is how I feel. And I don't know, I'm like super excited. I get to dress up and I don't have a party this weekend other than going with my girls trick-or-treating. So I always take the time to like dress up and show off. Like, yes, I'm showing off.
Wow. Well, it's exciting to have you here, really. And for those that may not know you as a life coach, as believer in this law of attraction and what we put out there is what we get. Give us a little bit of your background. Explain your concept to us, Mary.
Yeah, for sure.
Mary, but go ahead.
I'm just like always like, I just want to, I don't know. I'm super excited. So I apologize if I lose my words. I love seeing myself in even the little screen. Sorry.
No,
anyway,
okay.
so yes, I am a life coach in love attraction. I have a certification in life coaching in neurosciences, applied neurosciences. So I do have some techniques in that too. But when I discovered my spirituality, because I used to love the brain, I still love the brain and how it works. But when I learned about love attraction and that what I put out there is what I receive, the body and the brain acts on those beliefs. So it doesn't matter what I eat, what I do. If it goes with the belief, doesn't matter. The belief will make everything work together. So I focus more on the spiritual side, on the love attraction, and that if you want it, it's done. And what started me into this healing for myself, because my husband passed away 4 years ago, and thank you. I'm like, okay, I took a break here. Just
Aww.
But enough for me, for you, right? Because I know for me, I'm used to my story. And every time I'm talking as if, every day you encounter people that are young that lost their husband. But I'm like, I did ask a few weeks ago to a lady, would you have like me to stop and like for you to gather yourself a moment and, ask me a question maybe? She's like, yeah, would have liked that. So anyway, so yes, my husband passed away. Pause. But I had a mindset that everything happens for a reason. And I know some people are like angry when people tell them that, but for me, I do have that belief. And some days I'm like, Anyway, so I had to work on my healing, on the grief and the shame I had from that experience. And by doing the grieving process, I grieved my whole childhood too. And all the baggage, the emotional baggage and trauma and emotional abuse I didn't even know I went through.
Wow.
Because I was not aware that's what was happening at that time. So I healed all of these emotions. And actually, I was going through a twin flame journey. For those who know about twin flames, is when you meet your other soul in somebody else's body, you meet and you trigger all of the crap of, that for you to bring to unconditional love. So that was my journey. And now I'm like, I don't need anyone. Like, I'm okay. I'm happy with myself and just sharing the light and all the healing that I've gone through. And so I'm sharing it as a life coach. I'm also a speaker. And however way I can share my energy.
Clearly.
Because just being in a room, I've learned that apparently being in a room, I can just heal a bunch of people without talking, just by being present. So that's what I do. And that's why I bring with people who work with me.
Well, I love that you're here with us, helping us out today. And by the way, on Instagram, how do we find you?
It's at Mary Mongrain 90. So MARIEMONGRAIN.
I'm having trouble with the Wi-Fi here because I can't get on. I've been trying to search for your picture for May. That's what I'm doing here like this. And I keep losing it. And I'm like, this is not it. It's you, but I keep losing the thing. Okay. From May, I'm going back. Anyway, sorry, but beautiful pictures on here. Otherwise, I could see some of you all dressed up. My goodness, gorgeous. And those are your kids.
Yes.
Oh.
And we love makeup. Like last year, before COVID, I took some makeup, like some face painting classes, because that's what I like with my kids. Like, people ask, do you have a daycare? I'm like, no, I don't. It's just me enjoying like dressing up, buying toys and doing makeup. So with my girls, I did makeup, and now I let them the kit and they do face painting on themselves and like on their bodies. And it's just so much fun because I want them to discover on their own reality and gather the evidence they want. And it brings us together. So when COVID started last year, there's a place here, like it's a resort for family where they have programs that I used to go, and I offered them. I said, if you want, I can do on Zoom like some tutorial on some of the face painting I had discovered, like I had learned for the parents that were in the community that were there. So that was fun. Like I just love this whole thing of magic. Now look at it.
You are magical. Look at you. Oh my God. That's Beauty and the Beast. What's his name? What's little Chip? That was the name of it. Oh my gosh. And your poor husband. I'm looking at your pictures. God bless him and what you all went through. My goodness. Oh gosh, it reminds me of my mom. My mom was sick with cancer and unfortunately passed away many years ago, but going through that's got to be so hard. And look how you can recover. I mean, I'm sure it's not easy, but look at you, positive, smiling, doing the best thing for your girls. I mean, wow, you couldn't have, do a better job. I mean, okay, I'm looking at you and supporting your kids' passions and creations, and you're in a garbage bag shirt. I love it. You are just adorable with your children. My goodness. Beautiful. And there you are. It's April 27th. I got you as Mary Poppins. It's amazing. I would think I would be super happy to be an actress and wearing amazing clothes like this on set. Let's send this into the universe. You never know. We'll see you on set soon.
I hope so.
Oh my God. You look great. You look great.
And I just want to mention about how changing your places, changing things in your life in the physical reality does not mean that all the emotional baggage goes away. And one example was, and I'm gonna share the story about this little guy here.
Oh my gosh.
Right. So 3 years ago, I went to Disney with my girls, and that was supposed to be a trip we were supposed to do as a family before my husband passed away, which we didn't end up doing. But I did it a year and a half later because I'd never been to Disney. I'm like, yeah, I'm going, right? And so when I went there, the first day I got there, I'm like, okay, I see the castle, and like it's it's impressive.
Surreal, but
Because they say, oh, Disney is the most magical place on earth. But the thing is, if you don't have that magic within yourself,
it's not going to feel magical. Yeah.
You do not feel it. And I got there the first day, I'm like, it didn't feel overwhelming. There was a lot of sadness. I'm sorry. And it was just like, okay, that's beautiful. All right. It took me, like, the fireworks were awesome. And I started crying.
Yes, I was just there a few months ago.
And then after 3 days, we're at Epcot. And that day was raining. I'm like, oh, seriously, it rained the whole day. Anyway, on and off. And at one point we got into one of the little store in the French district of over there. And if it had not rained and I was not looking for a raincoat or something, I would not have found this little guy here.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not someone who used to have things like just decoration, because I don't want a dust keeper. But now I saw it and I'm like, the little girl in me, she was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? I can bring this home. Like, I can, as if I was on a movie set, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm making a house, a movie set, and I got like the clock, I got the teapot, and like just grabbing a few things. And that
makes you feel magical. Look what it's bringing out in you. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, thank you that it rained. We got to be in this building at this precise time when I saw this guy. And he turned it on, like, I can turn it on. He's got lights too. I was, oh my God. And I was super excited.
What's his name, by the way?
Lumière.
Oh, Lumière. Yes. It's all coming back to me. Okay. Yep.
And at that hotel room at night, my girls, I just put them to bed. And I was looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, oh my God. And as if I had won an Oscar. Like, for me, this was my Oscar. Like, I was like, thank you for you bringing us here. Thank you for the rain. Thank you. And I was like, oh my God. But I had to find that magic in me to have to experience Disney's magic. And that's the whole thing with everyone in life is, if you're sad and depressed, doesn't matter where you go, you can move town, but you're bringing yourself with you all the time. And that's what I learned with Abraham Hicks on YouTube. That's how I discovered Love Attraction more. Is that you bring yourself no matter what. So if you feel unsafe in your body, you're going to be attracted to places, and you're going to say, I feel unsafe because there's the murder rate is high, this is happening in the area. But it's not this, because you feel unsafe within, you don't feel protected. And so wherever you go, you'll be around these areas. And when you start feeling great within yourself and doing the inner work to say, oh, I am safe in my body, then you're going to attract all these magical places and these synchronicities. And yeah, so that's why magic is so amazing. Like, you're like, oh yeah, magic, that's a magic trick. It's just an illusion. But when you understand the law of attraction, how the universe works, you're like, oh my God, like, yes, the magic definitely happens, because you just don't see it.
Yeah,
right?
It's true. Wow. Well, you are magical and you're helping so many people. What do your clients say about you? My goodness.
Well, one of the person that I work with, he said, she's the best clearer I've ever worked with. And I'm like, and part of me, right, like, there's still like some disbelief that I'm that great. Like, I'm not someone who I like to show off. I know I'm good, but I don't want to like say that I'm like the best. Like, there's a part of me that's like, but I mean, I'm
modest, but okay.
For someone, right? If I go to someone at crappy experiences and they meet me, yes, I'm the best for them right now. So I figured I'm always the best for the person at that moment in time. Maybe not in their lifetime, but when they need it, I am. So like they say, I'm the best clearer. Like, oh, well, that's good. I like that. And like some people went like to see some therapist for 20 years and check within an hour. Like, it was all clear. Like, okay, so I know there's powers. There's something, and people are like magical. Like, she makes you believe that's all you did it. I'm like, well, it's kind of you. You're in the receiving mode, right? Sorry. So I have a hard time taking the compliments, but I'm learning that I do have an effect on those people.
Absolutely.
So they're saying all good things. It's me to believe them.
Beautiful. Well, you're doing a great job. And I love it. You got the gloves on. You got, oh my God, I wish I had a chip. What else do you have? That's it. I just saw that umbrella in the picture. Oh, adorable.
Yes. What else I have? Well, I can show you my little clock, but
sure. What else do you have? And what are the kids being for Halloween too?
Oh, they're gonna be one is gonna be Ladybug. It's a show on Netflix, I think. So it's like a superhero, and she transformed into a ladybug, and she wanted that. So that's one. And the other one's going to be a witch. We talk a lot about witches because, in a way, we do magic, right? We're witches. Like I didn't want to say that before, but it's like, yeah, we are witches. We are fairies, and that's what they're going to dress up. And I most likely will wear my costume from Harry Potter, and just because my inner sorcerer, I don't know, and I love that. I don't know. Did you ever watch Harry Potter and magic, and do you believe in that? Do you enjoy this environment?
Of course I do. Absolutely do. Yes.
Did you read all the books?
No, I don't, but I do believe.
Yes. And that's one thing. And I know this because when I was a teacher, when I was studying to be a teacher, I want to bring the Disney magical world into my classroom. So my philosophy, because we had to write a philosophy for our classroom, was to bring the magic and make every day as magical as we can be. And even though I didn't believe in like real magic and stuff, just the make believe and stuff, I would be the teacher who would make up songs, and I would go in my classroom dressed up, and like I sang Taylor Swift song with changing the words with "I'm your teacher today," and and then now I find it funny that now I'm into like real magic and real like that I create this. And it's not just in my classroom, because I don't have a classroom anymore. I don't want one anymore. Like the world is my classroom. But yeah, so like, oh my God, like this is just to see how things happen. And just for that, right? Doesn't matter whoever coach you're going to hire, because you will always attract the coach that's a match to you. And you will always achieve the goal that you need at the moment, right? It might not be the more customer, or maybe that's what you want. That's the coach you're going to get, right? But one thing that you need to know is that no matter which coach you're going to have, if you don't see the results now, you'll still have the results maybe like 20 years later.
Okay.
Because everything is vibration, right? If you go with time, like if you go in the spiritual world where people say time does not exist, everything is just a frequency. And when you've met that frequency, then you attract things. True. And one example of that for me was when I was younger, before I went to study in hotel management, I wanted to have a Airbnb. I wanted to. Well,
that would be fun.
My goal was to have a bed and breakfast. And one of my teachers said, "Oh, there's this beautiful touristic area near Quebec that's called Charlevoix, and it's beautiful. And I would see you there." I was in high school when that happened. And then, I studied in hotel management. I worked in a restaurant, then became a teacher. And then 2 years ago, I was to her kid's birthday, and her aunt, she said, "Oh, I do have a bed and breakfast for sale in Charlevoix." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah.
Wait, 20 years ago, I said I would like to have a bed, like one of those hotels in Charlevoix, and here is the opportunity. I said, I would not tell you right now because I didn't want it anyway, but I'm like, it happened. And that was the first time I asked for it. I still got it. Not when I wanted, but I still got it, right? If I wanted, I could have jumped on the opportunity. That's just to show you that all your dreams are manifesting. It's just the time might not be however you want it. You need to go through some kind of
ups and downs.
Not ups and downs, more of learning the lesson and going with like a video game. You level up, and then you do your level, and then you change frequency until you get to that frequency of your desire.
Wow.
And so for me, if I can give one tip to anyone who's listening, is we want to control the next 5 to 10 years, 20 years, right? But the thing is, our higher self knows the whole plan. It knows where I want to go. It's my GPS. It knows where I want to go. It knows the path that's going to take the least time to get there. But it also knows my beliefs. So if I don't believe it, I'm going to do a little detour.
A little dance around the route.
Rerouting, but I'm still going to get there. It's just going to take longer. That's why when we work our belief and our inner belief that this is what's going on, we're just making it longer. But the whole point is to have fun, because when you get to your journey, you're there. What else do you do now? Like, yes, you enjoy it, but the fun is also in how am I going to get there? Now that I know everything's already kind of pre-paved. Now my goal is to just say, okay, I don't have to chase and do all this big work to achieve it, because I know it's done. I'm going to see as if my life is a movie and see what I created and just go along with okay, this is how I'm going to get the boyfriend. This is how I'm going to get the career. And just see what kind of life story, like what did I produce for myself?
I like the way you look at things like that. That's true. You're right. I'm on that path, that journey going, wiggle, wiggle. Like, why aren't I there? But you know what? Because I'm enjoying myself. Because it's like that Miley Cyrus song. Do you know that song called It's the Climb? So
Yes.
it's about the climb. It turns out once you're there on top of the mountain, it's like, this is it. But it's really not about that. It's about the whole journey and the path to get there. And then once you get there, it's like, well, now I want something else. So then you're going to go back on a journey. So maybe
Yes.
it's a good thing. Yes, for sure.
And we'll always want more. That's the thing. We'll always want more. But we also have to appreciate where we are right now, because where we are right now is actually something that we wanted for a long time. Even though we don't see it, it's like, I always wanted to live in this area. I always wanted to have this kind of lifestyle, right? And even though, I always wanted to be single or not with that person, right? The universe gives you what you're saying. I don't want to be with that person. You're not with that person anymore, so stop complaining, right?
Exactly.
But it's just to see how the present is actually super awesome, because when we get to what we actually want again, we won't be able to enjoy it unless we enjoy what we have right now.
Yeah.
And for me, that changed. And it's like, okay, I don't need to know the next 5 to 10 years. That plan is taken care of. Now I need to go just the next step. The next step. It's like in a car, right? If you drive at night, your light, like, you have 30 kilometers to go, but your car only lights up the first 200 feet in front of you. You don't need to know what's coming up in 30 kilometers or miles. You only need to know what's going on in front of you. And that's what I'm doing. It's like, okay, well, my highest excitement is the light in front of me. I follow that because that's the road and it knows where the curve is. And I don't need to know more. And that removes so much stress and anxiety, because all is good. And that's one trick that I can give to people, is just this: follow the one next step, because that one next step is going to open more doors than you could even have opened yourself.
Got it. And when one door closes, one door opens, right? Isn't that always true too? You think
that's
something.
What they say. Or how about we just say, the door that never closed is I chose a different door.
Yeah, true.
That door did not interest me anymore, so I just chose another one. Because that way, if you say the door closes, you're giving the power to someone else that they closed the door. It's not, no.
What if it's a sliding door?
It's still, I chose to step in that door.
Yes. I love it. I love it. And, the type of work you're doing, you're helping so many people in so many different facets and areas. And, with the change of seasons here now, fall to winter, and is there something that normally happens mind-wise, body-wise, when the spirit, or spirit-wise, I should say, when the winter starts setting in and the cold? Do we get more depressed, more overeating, more? What are some of the
depends. I don't. For me, I love fall. Like I love summer. I love warm weather. But here in Quebec, we changed, like, the time falls back an hour in 2 weeks on November 7th, I believe. So for me, like, I love when it's so sunny, but when falls hit and it gets darker earlier, that for me was always, I love the darkness. I don't know why, but I used to come back from school or work at 4 and it was dark outside. But it's a different, and you're the one who gets to associate, darkness with depression, or darkness with how can I make it more fun? For me, it's like, well, I get to go to bed earlier because my body feels like it needs to go earlier, instead of me like pushing my limits and party until like it's midnight. So for me, it depends on how you see the situation. People say, I have seasonal depression, but we're still giving the power to the seasons to affect your mood, right? When we take back the power on our lives and how we want to feel, and when we force ourselves, sometimes we have to force it to see the good in what's going on. Okay, how is this happening for me? Then we're gonna take it, and to know that if it gets darker, I just get to relax more. But we're so want to be productive because our value is seen as, the more I do, the more I have value. But when you start seeing that you have value no matter what you do, take a nap, and that's more taking a nap, if that's to your highest excitement, more than going to work, that actually energetically wise is better for you and for everyone.
Absolutely.
So like for me, but so for me, I always, like, even COVID, well, I have a choice. I can say, oh man, I'm stuck with my kids at home. I don't know where I was gonna go. It's gonna be crazy. And I said, well, you do create a reality. Is that what you want to create? I said, no, it's going to be fun. And I know we're going to spend more time together, right? I chose, I had to rewire my brain in saying, this is what I want to happen. Because I get to create the future. So I say, if I always say, well, this is always how it happened, this is how it's going to happen. But I choose. So seasonal, you choose to say, okay, well, even if it gets colder, how can I make this more fun for me?
And here you are doing that for us. And I got to say, happy Halloween. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy trick-or-treating. You trick-or-treat, right? With the girls?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
And how can our listeners and viewers reach out to you, sweetheart?
You can find me on Instagram at MARIEMONGRAIN90. TikTok is the same thing. I love TikTok. I'm on it for a while. And if you want to call me or text me, it's 1-579-594-7111.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for your time today. It's a pleasure having you here again. And check out Maria on Instagram as well. Love your costume. I love your tenacity. Love your positivity. Seriously. You have a great day and we'll talk soon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.